Good morning, everyone. How are you today? We're gonna get started moving into our next week. I know you guys are still working on your sex histories that are due tonight, so hopefully getting those done is coming along nicely. I think what I've said to you is, I know what I've said to you. Those are just between you and I, so no one else will see them. Answer what feels right, and don't answer what doesn't feel right. And in terms of whether you do it as a giant essay or if you do it as questions one at a time, that's your choice as well. So, okay, here we go. So we sort of did a little bit on what is human sexuality, and now this week we're going to talk about research methods. There's a lot to say about studying sexuality. One of the people who's really famous for studying sexuality is Alfred Kinsey, and so here's his scale. He says that most of us don't really fall into one category of either totally straight or totally gay, and that we're all sort of somewhere in the middle. And that was his findings back in the 50s. And so you can imagine if people were responding to questions that openly back then, how it may be different now as the society has opened up and become more acceptable. There's still a lot of stigma in terms of how we judge people based on their sexual orientation, but I think in terms of how different it is now than, say, 50 or 60 years ago, it's very different, obviously. I don't think in the 1950s a marriage equality law would ever have passed, obviously, in the United States anyways. So please do all the things that are on here. I really want to highlight the Tuskegee experiment because that's an experiment that that is an example of research being. Sorry, my dog is like bumping things. That is an example of social research being used to exploit people, to demonstrate racism, to do a whole laundry list of things that are inappropriate and unethical. And so when we think about research, we always have to think about the ethical component to it. So for those of us that have done research as part of our career, we've had to undergo, strict trainings, and take an oath to be ethical in how we do our research. And it's really important because, unfortunately, the scientific community was not immune to exploitation and oppression of people in the name of science. And you'll watch this video and you'll kind of get a little glimpse of what I'm talking about. But without the research being done, not that research piece, but without having the ability to do research, we don't get to learn. And so it's a good thing that there is research out there and that people are doing research. As a sociologist, I do research, and anyone who's doing any sort of work in human sexuality, whether it be psychological or biological, the need to do research is critical. So it just has to be undertaken in a way that is ethical and that doesn't exploit or hurt people. So, literally hurt people too. So that's that. So I hope you have a good week reading all of this stuff. I hope that maybe this is a day off for you. Maybe you get a day off. I don't know. It's a day off for me, and I'm thankful for it. So I'm gonna take that day off, and yeah, that's about it. So Rosie says hi. Rosie says have a great day, and I'll be seeing you on the forums. Email me if you have any questions. All right. Take care. Bye.